Namaste everyone. We will start our today's discussion. It's 8 o'clock. We'll start from Mangalam. Saraswati Namastubhyam Varde Kamarupini Vidyarambham Karishyami Siddhir Bhavatu Me Sada. So today we have reached in our 10th chapter. So all those who are coming along, I'm thankful to them that they carried till this chapter. We'll see how we can finish it in proper way. So today's sukti will take first. So that is Gunaha Puja Sthanam Gunishu Na cha Lingam Na cha Vayaha. So we'll see in separate words first. Lingam is gender. Vayaha is age. So na cha vayaha, neither age, na cha lingam, neither gender. So gunaha means qualities, plural. Puja sthanam means place of respect. Gunishu is Saptami. Among the people who are of good quality, they are not respected because of their particular gender or because of their age. They are respected because the quality, the guna they have, because of that they get respected. So this is what it is trying to tell you. Like if you also want respect, so don't think like being of a certain gender or of certain age, you will get it automatically. You need to cultivate certain qualities inside you. They will bring respect from other people. So this is the Sukti's Artha. So today's chapter is a little different because we have finished all the Kriya part, whatever we had. So today it is little bit of theory which you need to understand. So that is why I had did some presentation. We'll go through that first, then we'll come in book. So we already know that all the Sanskrit, everything, not literally, but mostly everything is made of some root words. Those root words are called as dhatu. So Panini, the person who wrote modern grammar, he went and understood, and what he did, he collected or derived all the root forms, whatever was current that time uses was there. And he created several work or books, you can say. So one of them is Dhatu Pathaha. So Dhatu Patha is which has all the list of dhatus. So this list of dhatus, Dhatu Patha, are again written by Panini. Inside that, inside that there are some 2000 dhatus. So those dhatus he had arranged them as per the way he is going to whatever grammar he is going to write. He has arranged them as per that requirement. So the dhatus are arranged in 10 chapters, and each chapter is named from the first dhatu in the chapter. So we'll see how those are. So bhwadi is bhu is the first dhatu. So from bhu it becomes bhwadi, bhuadi, and because of sandhi it went like that. Then ad is to eat. Atti is the form. So this is to eat. This is the first dhatu in this group or second chapter. So this chapter is named as adadihi. Then juhoti is another, juhotyadihi. Div is to gamble or to play. That is again different chapter. Then su and the swadi and tudadi, rudhadi, tanadi, krayadi and churadi. Like this 10 ganas are there. So what we have to understood from this place, like we should know, like there all the Sanskrit words are coming from root words. All means around 99%. Root words are 2000. Those root words are written in a separate compilation that is called as Dhatu Patha. In Dhatu Patha, those 2000 dhatus are bifurcated in 10 chapters. All the chapters are named by the first dhatu they have inside them. So now why they are in different chapter? Because all dhatus in one chapter share some common property. So most of the time what happens, if you know one dhatu from one gana of one padi, then you can derive all dhatus for that particular ganas just by knowing little sandhi and that whatever that first dhatu you name. So ideally, if you will read further, you will see mostly whoever teach how to generate dhatus, whatever course or people, they take one dhatu, Atmanepadi, Parasmaipadi from each gana and they teach you how to create the form. After that, they know like you can derive any number of dhatus. Only you have to figure out dhatu belongs to which gana. So what that will come to later. So along with that, we know like each dhatus along with being in chapter, they are classified as Parasmaipadi or Atmanepadi, or some dhatus are in both Ubhayapadi. So this we have practiced and knew properly. So these two are the chapter, which chapter they belong, what padi that dhatu particular dhatu is. So this we are going to use in our next slides. So dhatu pathatah prapyate. So what we get from dhatu patha is dhatu. We get a root. So root will have a meaning like bhu. So sattayam. So to be. So bhu dhatu meaning, gross meaning is to be. So we get that dhatu from dhatu patha. Then we get the padi. Padi means bhu is a parasmai padi dhatu. And then we know the gana. So gana we know like bhu is coming from vadi gana. So these three things, three parameters as of today. There are other things also which comes from that dhatu patha, which by which sometime you can figure out that padi and all, but we are not bothered about that. We as at this level we are worried about that from dhatu patha, every dhatu when we will pick, we will be worried about dhatu. What is the dhatu? What is the gross meaning? Padi. What it is a Parasmepadi or Atmanepadi or Gana, and which chapter it is coming from. So the discussion is to explain you how the Kriya Pada is made. Just a very top level view. In reality, you are not going to know anything which you can use. You will just get an idea how it is made. So let's see with these three things what other ingredients are required. So first thing is dhatu. So you take a dhatu, then for every dhatu gana there are different pratyaya. Pratyaya you know that is suffix. So if it is coming, if the dhatu is coming, this dhatu is coming from bhwadi gana, so there will be a pratyaya of bhwadi gana that is called as a. So that a will get applied to all the dhatus which are coming from Vadigana. So that is called as Vikaran Pratyaya. Next is there are set of pratyayas, they are called as Ting Pratyaya. So Ting Pratyayas are 18. So first prefix got applied on dhatu, then there is the Tingant Pratyayas or Ting Pratyayas are going to get applied, and then you will get the Kriya Padani. Many Kriya Padas. Since the pratyaya, last pratyaya applied on dhatu is ting pratyaya, sometimes Kriya Padas are called as tingant padas. So pada ending in ting. So let's see what ting is. So so if you see here, so this is the set of pratyayas. So you see for Parasmai Padi, 9 are there. We know there are 9 form of verbs for a single verb. So if pathat pat is the dhatu, then you have patati patata patanti patasi patatha patate patami patava patama in parasmaipadi. If vand of atmanepadi is the dhatu, then you will have vandate vandete vandante vandate vandeta vandadvam and vande vandavahe vandamahe. So that is for atmanepadi. So actually what pratyaya got applied, what suffix got applied, that is this. Tip tas jhi, sip thas tha, mip was mas. This gets applied on parasmaipadi dhatu and then you get pathati somehow. So what happens as of now we cannot understand. Tas gets applied, so you get it, you get pathatah, and jhi gets applied, you get pathanti. As of now you don't need to remember, you just know what is the process. So if you see, if I have to collectively refer them, like okay, all the pratyayas. So either you say some random name like all the pratyayas, cumulative, this, that, or use the Paninian way. Panini always believed in making things short. So you can see here how short they are. Still shorter he makes, because at that time there was no writing, no computer. Everything you have to put in your head. So the matter is as less, that much you can hold in your head. It will be easy to remember, easy to recall. So that is why everything is so abbreviated, and that is what is the quality of Panini's Vyakarana. So what he said, he says, I will make a abbreviation. So he takes first of the T, and he says wherever this it is ending, last of that. So you say he calls them all as thing. So whenever he says thing, he says all this. So all 18, one name, thing. So that is what is we are discussing in this. So thing pratyas are the applied here. So dhatu is there, then you get dhatu gana of that dhatu, and the particular dhatu gana has fixed pratyaya, that this is the gana pratyaya, gana marker. It will mark like it is from chapter 1, and then you will apply the common thing pratyaya. These thing pratyayas, they change their forms as per their lakara they are used, the tense they are getting used, that we will see. So once the particular thing pratyaya you take and apply, you get a kriya pada. So let's see one example. So if bhu is the dhatu, so you will figure out the gana is bhvadihi. So for bhvadihi, the vikarana pratyaya is fixed as a. So bhu plus a. And then if you want to make vartamana kala prathama purusha ekvachana, then you will figure out like which tinganta set I should use. Tiptas G set or Ta Atham set. So you will say, okay, this is Parasmaipadi. So I will use Tiptas G set. So from there you will pick Tip, and we already know in Ktwa, Tumun and Ktavatu, like all these things are coming with a packet. So before using, you take the wrapper out and throw unnecessary things. So here pa is part of wrapper. So you will throw pa and it will become ti. So now you can say bhu somehow becomes bhava, and sorry, I have written here patati, but you can say bhu will become bhava because of some other process, and then a will come, so it will bhava ti. So you will get a form bhavati. So once if you know the grammar, then you can write. Even I have a program which I had written some last time when I was doing one diploma in Sanskrit. So you provide this dhatu, it will generate all the forms. So the program is not a big thing to have create, but what the point here is, like it is a very systematic process which you can directly translate or make computer also understand. So once you reach to a level, then you need not to remember any form, you will be able to mostly generate in your mind. But we need to keep one thing in our head, like none of the languages are read from grammar to speaking or uses. All the languages, natural languages, are read from uses to grammar. So first you have to learn uses. You learn shlokas, learn stories, learn speaking, sambhashana, and after that come back to grammar. That is the book's pattern also. So next one we will see the Atmanepadi. If you see Vand, so then again this comes from Vadi. So this will be Pratyaya, Vikarana Pratyaya will be A. You will again go for Lat Pumlinga Ekvachana, and then you will figure out Pratham Purusha Pullinga is said. So then you will figure out that it's a Atmanepadi Dhatu, and then from the set of Tinganta Pratyayas you will pick Ta Pratyaya, not the Tip. So Ta will become Te. How? That all again is further this thing. And then if you join this all, Vand A Vanda Te. So Vandate. So you will get a Vandate form. So that is how the Kriya Padas are made. Now comes the tense. So this is the Lakara. So Lakara, as earlier also we discussed, Kara is again a Pratyaya which tells the Varna. So like you say letter A or Ka Varna. So that Varna, telling Varna is the another Pratyaya is there, Lakara. Means La Varna. So like we say Akarantaha, Akarantaha. So ending in A word, ending in A word. So Lakara means something which are, there is no Anta, means something which are starting from La. This is the grammatical name for tenses. So we already know that there are 10 tenses in Sanskrit. So we'll see how these lakaras are derived and what tense they represent and how you can easily remember them. Not remember, it will come on your it is so logical, like it will be on tip of your tongue. So la word if you take without any swara, and then you use these swaras a, e, u, r, a, o. So if you add one of these, so la plus a will become full la. Now if you add ta, then becomes lut. And if you add then it becomes lung. So these two are lakaras. There is one this also. So all greens are kalvachakas. Kalvachakas means they tell time. So then again E is there. So if you take La and E, then it will become Li, and then Ta, Lit, Nga, Ling. So two rakaras are there, Lit and Ling. Then again La and U, then it will become Lut and Lung. And if you say R, then it will become Rit and Ring. If you have A, then it will become late, and if you have O, then it will become lot. So six swaras are here. For six, only four are there for which both ta and nga are used. For rest two, only ta is used. So you can say it first ta is used, so we will get 6. Then you will start using nga. So wherever 4, 10 happens, there you will stop. So the color code if you see here, so this is Kalvachaka. Kalvachaka means a tense telling the time. So like Lat Lakara, it tells like it's a present tense, Vartamana Kala, currently going time. And Lang Lakara tells past tense. Lit Lakara tells another kind of past tense. Then similarly Lut, Lung, Lit, everyone tell time. Next one is this color which says Vede. So this is Saptami. It tells in the Veda. So this is late Lakara which is used in Veda only. So it is not used in classical Sanskrit. So what Sanskrit we are reading, that is classical. So we will not read this Lakara. Or even we will not count it in our this thing, because this is found only in Veda. Then you see these Bhavavachakas. Bhavavachakas means some mood representing lakaras. So there for mood representing you have Ling, which is a further of two type, Ashir Ling and Vidhi Ling. So Vidhi Ling you will study in your next table. And then you have Lot Lakara, that we already read in this level, called as Prerana. So currently what we know, Lat, Lung, Rit and Lot. 4 lakaras we know. Going forward, we will know one more lakara, that is Vidhi Ling. and that's it. So most of the Sanskrit you can understand and you can communicate using these 5 lakaras. So yeah, these are the tenses. Now to understand when to use which lakara, I have made this figure. So this is Vartaman, current time, whatever is currently going. After this time, whatever is going to come, that is called as Bhavishyat, that is future. And what before this time, whatever is there, that is called as Bhoot or Bhutkala. So you already know, like today is in Sanskrit called as Adya. So Adyatan means today's. So today's is called as Adyatan. So like Vartaman is somewhere here, say it's 8 o'clock. So before this time and after this time, till the time today's date is applied, like 23rd December. So it is from midnight 12 to midnight 12 next. So you can say this is Adyatan, today's. After this, whatever day is going to come, that is not today's. So that is Anadyatan. And whatever was yesterday, that is also not today. So that also is called as Anadyatan. This is just a terminology I am explaining so that going forward you can understand. And when you read yourself in book, you can understand. So now let's see. So this is, suppose this is the time. So we will call it Idanim. So now is the time. So now if you have, I am using a verb bhavati. Bhu is the dhatu which I am using to explain all these letters. So there is a kind of rule, you can say vartamane lat. So when present is there for current time, you will use lat lakara, and in lat lakara verb bhu will become bhavati. So being. Next, if you see, from now till the time till 12 o'clock tonight, when we will say tomorrow when it will start, before that we use a lakara that is called as lit, and the form of bhu will become bhavishyati, that is future. Bhavishyati, it will happen. Again, this is tomorrow, shvaha, this is now. So from the time currently till the time where it becomes tomorrow, for that anything if you are to tell, you will say use lit lakara. Then if anything in future you want to tell which is after tomorrow, then there is a different lakara that is called as anadyatane lut. These are the you can say rules, paribhashas, which are telling vartamane lat, sheshe lat comes after this. Anadyatane, from here you can now understand. Adyatan, today, anadyatan, not today. So not today's future is represented by lut. And when for bhu dhatu you will convert that bhu for this tense, then it will become bhavita. So now coming back, so just from the time this day had started and yesterday ended, means today is night 12 o'clock. If you are telling any past tense, anything which happened just yesterday, yesterday means from the now time, whatever time is there, until the 23rd date. So 23rd date, when date started, from that time till now, if anything had happened, for that you will use another past tense that is called as samanya bhuta, or this is also called as adyatan bhuta, today's past. So this today's past will make the bhavati as abhut. Anything which happened before 23rd date, for that is called as anadyatan bhuta. Nothing to, just you see here, this is anadyatana. So anadyatana bhute, then lang lakara is used. That form is abhavat. And it will be valid till the time you know or you have seen something. Pura means old times, till old times. If something is very old, older than pura, then you will use another lakara that is called as lit. Paroksha bhute lit. So something which doesn't happen in front of you, in front of your eyes, or somebody telling like some grandmother or somebody telling you story, there you will use lit, and the form will be like babhuva. So this is the whole means if you see all six lakaras here present which tell the time or kala. So if you have any doubt here, I will pause and I will let you ask. Please ask if you have any doubt. Okay, seems no doubt. So I will proceed. So this is the theory. So what you have to, if you see here, currently we are not telling or expecting you to use this lakara or this lakara. We are telling for all future you use this only. Say lit only, you expand it to here. Sorry, I had to say not this lakara. So for all future, for Adyatana future, Anadyatana, both Bhavishyat Kala, you use only one Lakara because you want to keep it simple in the learning. And for both the Adyatana Bhuta and Anadyatana Bhuta, we are asking you to use this Lakara, Lang Lakara of Anadyatana. So by that, if you see, we have three kalas or three times. One is present time, idanim, that is the lat lakara. Everything future is one lakara, that is lit lakara bhavishyati, and everything past is one lakara, that is lang lakara past abhavat. So this is the current way what we have learnt, and this is the way we are going to in the whole book or whole course you are going to learn this way only. So only three tenses: present, future and past. For present lat, for future lit, and for past lung. But you should know this also, like whenever if suppose god or you with your expertise you become a good pandit in Sanskrit, then if you have to write something, you may write using these lakaras because that will add beauty and vocabulary in your whatever thing you are creating. So, yeah, with this, I will come to one's book again to see if anything is left. So, this I expect you to read your own. Whatever gist was there, whatever will make you confused or something, that all I have covered here. So there is a shloka which you can remember if you don't understood, or if you want to, if you are fond of remembering. So there are some sandhis, so that you have to keep in your mind. So, lad vartamane. So that was lat, because of sandhi became lad. Led vede bhute. So it is telling vartamane in the present lat. Late Vede, late Lakara in the Veda. Bhute in the past. Lung, Lang, Lita. Litaha, Tatha. Tatha means three Lakaras are there. Lung, Lang and Lit. They are used for Bhute. Vidya Shishostu Ling Lotau. Vidhi, Vidhiling and Ashirling. Ashi means to give a blessing or to tell anything mandatory thing. There are two lakaras, ling and lot. Together they are called as in dvivachana, ling lotau. And then ring ritau lud bhavishyati. So these three, ring, rut and lut, they are for future. So this you can remember. So this all Anadyatan Bhut they have explained in book. You can go through that. The one, okay, these all also you can understand, they are only theory. So same thing he is telling here. Lat is bhavati, bhavata, bhavanti. Lung it becomes, now you know. So lat is simple future. Then comes the 10 ganas. 10 ganas is the same thing what I explained to you. These are written here. You can go through. This is how they are made. Dhatu, Vikarana Pratyaya and Ting Pratyaya or Akhyat Pratyaya. It is called both. So you will get that. So with that, we'll come back to our locative case. The noun, Sanya part. So in Sanya part, today we are reading the last two vibhaktis or last two way of changing the noun roots. So again, I will take quick 2 minutes to rewind it. So we know like all like like verb roots, Sanskrit has noun roots. Noun roots are also most of the time derived from verb root only. So all the noun roots can be converted for different kind of noun uses. So in Sanskrit, whenever grammar was getting constructed, they sat down and tried to figure out how many different kind of uh, works are done in conversation, in daily uses, in any uses of the human language. Then they figured out that there are 8 kind of words are used. So first kind of words are when somebody is doing some work, that is karta. Second is when somebody is getting the result of the action, so that is karma. Third is when somebody or something is instrument of some happening, karana. When somebody or something is receiving something, sampradana. When somebody or something is separating something from something, so that is sampradana. When something is of something, related to something, that is sambandha. And last thing was when something is at some place or at the some location. So for that, that is called as adhikarana. For that, they have one other vibhakti. And last thing they have, like if you have to call somebody. In case of noun and pronoun, they can be used for calling also. So like vocative case. So that is the last case. So with this 8 kind of words, you can communicate everything in this world from Laukika to Alaukika everywhere. So those 8 are called as vibhakti. So to keep the one of the motive, you can say, to keep the free word order, now each noun root gets changed into these 8 kind of words as per the requirement of the sentence. So till now we have read 6 type of changes and now we are reading 7th type of changes. As I explained just now, 7th vibhakti is called as, 7th type change is called as adhikarana. Adhikarana always tells the place. So place like you are in a room. In a room is a place. You are on the earth. Earth is a place. Earth is holding you. It's telling your location. Similarly, it can tell you like you have some qualities. So qualities you are holding in. So that also will be told by this. So this is a very simple and very like commonly used vibhakti. So if I have to summarize, these are the places where it is used. So used to tell the location. So like you have to say in the pond. So something is in the pond. So you will say kasare. So kasara was the pond, the noun root. You will to convert it in Saptami, that ra becomes re. Kasare. So mostly for Pumlinga Akarant Pumlinga Shabda and Akarant Napumsakling Shabda, you will get this at the end a. This vibhakti is used for telling the time at that time. So that we already know. Vadane. So at 3 vadane, at 3 o'clock. So here it can tell in the morning, pratah kale. Again the same thing. It is telling the time. You can say it's again telling the location when it will happen in scale of time. When you are using any, you are expressing any liking, devotion or respect, then you again you use the Saptami, like faith in Rama. So Rame Shraddha. So in Rama Shraddha. And the Sambodhana Prathama is used to address some person. So when it is Rama, So if you say like everyone knows that simple kirtans, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. So if you see, you are calling them all the time. You are not saying Hare Rama Hare Krishna, because if you say Hare Rama, then it means Rama is doing something. It doesn't mean O Rama. So what you are saying, Hare Rama means O Rama, Hare Krishna means O Krishna. So you are calling him, you are remembering him. Like if I say Mahodayah Gacchati, it means some person, respected person is going. If I say Mahodaya and pause and Gacchatu, means Oh Mahodaya, hello sir, go, please go, like that. So you can see Ramaha, when you have to use as a Sambodhana as a vocative case, you will make it Rama. Hari, if Hari is there, like Vishnu, if you have to address him or call him, then you will say Hare. Guru is there, and if you have to address him, you will call him Guru. Sita is there, if I have to call Sita, I will say Site, because this is the change for calling. Mahodayah or Mahodaya. So like Mahodaya will become Mahodaye, Mahodayah will become Mahodaya. Saraswati, this I explained so many times. It is in our Mangala Prarthana also. Saraswati, if you see, then Saraswati is doer of the work, what is happening in the sentence. When you say Saraswati, it means O Saraswati, you are calling. So these are the this thing vibhaktis, Saptami and this vibhakti dictation.
Guruji,
Yeah, what the
uh,
yeah.
in the earlier slide, I mean earlier part,
Kasare.
Kasare was written.
Hmm.
What is the root form of that word?
Root form you can say as of now Kasarah or Kasara. So
Okay.
that is if you do the reverse engineering, so all the Akaranta, Pumlinga and Napumsaklinga are getting A.
Yes.
So you can convert it into that. So Kasaram or Kasarah. It should be that the verb form and sorry, used form, and root of both will be Kasara.
Okay. Okay,
Like
Guruji.
the phalam, root of phalam is phala, right?
Yes.
That is how it is Akaranta Napumsaklinga. And root of Rama also is Rama. That is how it is Akaranta Pumlinga. So
Okay.
whatever it is Kasaram or Kasaraha, and the root is Kasara.
Okay, Guruji.
Yeah. So we'll take some examples now. So you see Kamalani Santi. Lotuses are there. Where? Kasare. So to get the thing in Saptami or Adhikarana Vibhakti, you ask the question on verb as Kutra. So you can say Kutra means where. So you can say Kamalani Santi. Lotuses are there. Then you can ask Kutra Santi, where are they? So the answer will come in the location of the place, and that will come in Saptami. Kasare. So Pushpani Vikasanti. So flowers are blooming. Kutra, where? Latayam. So in the Lata, in the creeper. So that is for Akarant Strilinga. The form will come as Yam. So now you see for all the Strilinga, Yam will come. Parnani Patanti. Leaves are falling. Where? Kutra. So Bhumyam. Bhumi is the word. Bhumyam. In the ground or on the ground as per your English you want to. Chhatraha upavishanti. Students sitting or sits. Where? Kutra. Kakshasu. So that is plural. Classes. Kakshasu. So you can see classrooms. Bhaktihi bhavatu. Let there be devotion. Whom? Kutra. Kutra devotion. Sambho. So that is again Saptami in the Shambhu, in the Shiva. Or if you have to say Guru, then you will say Gurau. Let bhakti be in the Guru. Then Vahanani Sancharanti. So vehicles are moving. Where? Kutra? Margeshu. Margeshu is roads. Here it is written road. So that is roads. Margeshu. If you see Su or Shu. So in Akaranta Pumlinga and Pumlinga and Napumsaklinga Shu sound will come and Strilinga Su sound will come. Mayuraha Nrityanti. So peacocks are dancing. Where? Kutra Nrityanti. So Girishu. So Giri is the hill. Girishu is the plural hills. Here you can see. Tarunaha Taranti. So Tarunaha are young people. Taranti, they are swimming. Where? Kutra? Nadyam. Now you see Nadi is Strilinga. So Latayam, Bhumyam, Nadyam. So in the river. Samudre Bhavanti. In the Samudra, they have means they are in Samudra. So you can ask Kani Bhavanti. So who all are there in Samudra and what is there in Samudra? So Mauktikani. Mauktikani is the pearls. And in this form, if you say the word order is shifted here. So Mauktikani Bhavanti. Pearls are there. Where? Kutra Samudre. So like this. These also are same. So this is a simple vibhakti. Now, okay. So there are some difference. So Matra Bhumau Pritihi Bhavatu. Pritihi Bhavatu we will take. This is Prathama, this is verb, and this is Lot Lakara imperative verb. So it is telling let there be. So let there be love for Kutra. Where love should be? Matru Bhumau, in the motherland. So what it will, the beauty of one language cannot be represented by other language. Means exactly similarly. So if you see Matru Bhumau Pritihi Bhavatu, when you will listen in Sanskrit, you understand in the my motherland, let there be my affection or love or. But when you will convert in English, you have to, that sense or essence may change. Let there be love for the motherland, like that. So now, Kathaha Vidyante, Anekaha Kathaha Vidyante. Many stories are there. So you will ask Kutra. So Mahabharate, in the Mahabharata. So Mahabharata is the Adhikarana or the place of location of many stories. Then Mama Asaktihi Asti. I am interested. Kutra. Where you are interested? Vyakarane. In the Vyakarana. So these are the another cases. Location, after that we had another cases. Respect, liking. For them also Saptami is used. So you can see in these examples. Jyestheshu Adaram Darshaya. So Darshaya is for Lot. So Adaram Darshaya. Show respect. Keshu, you can ask Keshu, in whom we should show the respect. So you will say Jyestheshu, among in the Jyesth elders. Pritihi Bhavatu. So have compassion or love. In whom? So Daridreshu, those who are poor. Ruchihi Mastu. So don't have interest. Let there be no interest. In what? Durvyasane, in bad habit. So like that. So this is the table you can see. Rame for Akaranta Pumlinga. Rameshu. Vane Vaneshu. We know like Akarant Pumlinga is exactly same in Napumsaklinga also Akarant. From Tritiya onwards. So only Prathama and Ditiya are different for these two. Otherwise they all are same. If you know one, you know other. Then Akarant Ramayam and Ramasu. And here Ikarant Harau, Gurau, Harishu, Gurushu. Here you can say Pitari, Matari and Pitrushu. This is the plural. Matari also is here. Okay. Matari, Matrushu. These are the halant shabdas. So dadhi, dadhni, dadhini. So dadhni, dadhishu, dadhani. So there are two forms. Here also there is two forms. Matyam, nadyam, dhenvam, or matau. So form like this also is there, and form like yam is anyway there. So if you know yam, it is more than enough for you. So similarly for Sarvanam Shabda also will say Tasmin. So this Smin sound will come. This is for Pumlingas. Tasmin Teshu, Etasmin Eteshu, Kasmin Keshu. So this is for question. And Yam fix for Strilinga. Tasyam Tasu, Etasyam Etasu, Kasyam Kasu. And Napumsak Linga will have to be same with Pumlinga. So they are same. So Asmat Shabda for Uttam Purusha, it will be Mai Asmasu, Mai Avayoh Smasu. And Mai and will you know from Mai, if you know one, other one you know, Mai Tvai, Asmasu Yushmasu. That's it. So in Sambodhana Vibhakti, if you come and see, so this is not an independent case. So this is important. That is why it is always written as Sambodhan Prathama. It is not written as Sambodhana Vibhakti. It is written as Sambodhan Prathama. So what it means? It means like Prathama Vibhakti's little transformation for Sambodhana. Little twist in Prathama Vibhakti for calling somebody. Sambodhana. It is not a separate vibhakti. That is why, like today we have seen the 18 ting pratyayas. Similarly, for 7 vibhaktis, there are 21 sup pratyayas. They are called as sup because they start from su au jas, like that. They start from su. So, the 21 is 3 ekvachana, dvivachana, bahuvachana and 7 vibhaktis. So 7 multiplied 3 is 21. 8th vibhakti is Sambodhana. For that there is no pratyaya because that is not a pure vibhakti. So you can see here now vocative cases. He Rama. So the root word is Ramaha. He and Bho and I, Are, Re, all these are mostly accommodated with when you are calling anybody. So He Rama, O Rama, like this. Bho Mukunda. Bho Mukunda means like today we say, right, na, dude. So you can say it is that form. Bho. So He Govinda. So O Govinda. So you have to be very careful that putting visarga will make it very different. So anywhere where you put visarga and where you omit visarga, be careful. So suppose you have a sentence Rama Gachati. So if you make that Rama Gachati, so it means, oh Rama, someone is going. And if you say Rama Gachati, then Ram is going. So this is important. Then so you can see other addressings here. So Manya, so Mahodaya, Shriman, Arya for Pumlinga, and similarly for Strilinga, that is Manye, because the word will become Manya, like Sita. So when it will go in Sambodhana, it will become Manye. Arye, because for ladies it will become Arya. Mataha, Bhagini. Bhagini is the word for sister. But when you will address, you will make that small, Bhagini. So not Bhagini, like Saraswati and Saraswati. So these are the addressing. So this again, if you start so many languages, I think it is still followed. Especially I have seen in Telugu that the way they spoke or whoever spoke in front of me, whenever I observe. So whenever they, like Arvinda, if somebody's name is, so where they will say Arvinda only when they are calling him. Otherwise, they will always use Arvinda. So Arvinda. If they have to call, then they will say Arvinda. So maybe in other languages also it is like that. So with this, we are done with today's what we had to cover. We have 10 more minutes, so we will do exercises, and you people will do something simple. I will pick which without remembering you can have to.